Nature comes to life on this day. It wakes up after a long winter sleep. The earth warms up and the first vegetation appears from underneath. Snowdrops sprout as a symbol of Nauryz. Gophers go out to bask in the sunshine on that day. If animals spend a long time outside of their holes, it is understandable that the weather is getting warm. Human life is in close connection with nature. Therefore, everyone is looking forward to this day when the winter cold recedes and warm spring rays come. Joy is everywhere. Thus, we can say that this is the day, the birthday of nature itself. While the earth is in recovery process, important processes are also taking place in heaven. Having completed their full cycle, the celestial bodies return to their original positions and begin a new circle of walking. Day and night are equal.
Nauryzda бүкіл ғалам.
During Nauryz, the whole world starts its journey anew. A sort of reboot of nature occurs. The beginning of everything is coming. Exploring this topic, I realized that Nauryz is not just a period of time or a moment of reckoning or the onset of the spring season. This is primarily our national cultural value.
Құндылық екен.
People say that the balance between day and night among living beings is well known to fish, and among inanimate objects is the blue Samarkand stone.
Хандар дейді, бір ұсақ балықтарды аулатып, бір керсенге салғызып қояды дейді.
In the old days, Khan rulers ordered his people to catch small fish and put them in a basket on the eve of Nauryz. It is on the day of the equinox that these fish turn over, shining brightly with their sparkling belly. The blue Samarkand stone is also sensitive to the onset of this moment. At one time in Central Asia, the legitimacy of the power of a certain ruler was confirmed by demonstrating the self-melting of this stone. After all, it is a symbol of political power. During Nauryz, the local ruling elite tried to do activities that would gain the sympathy of the people. For example, freedom was granted to slaves, while the subjects of the Khan's treasury were generously endowed with citizenship. This is a great day. During those times, wars and bloody battles stopped on this day. People forgot about past grievances and forgave each other. Everywhere in the area was clean and tidy. People tried to meet this day brightly and festively after their physical and moral cleansing. On that day, patchwork quilts, kurak korpe, tekemets with different colors, and traditional alasha carpets were brought out to dry under the sunlight. In addition to bringing this household cleanliness, people seek to embellish the whole world around them, and each person, like an artist, generously adding various colors and tones, was ready to decorate the whole universe. This kindergarten began to celebrate the spring holiday early, Nauryz celebrations. In order for this day of great national jubilation to be preserved in the children's memory for a long time, special preparation was carried out.
Жаңа жылдық шыршамызды безендірсек,
as children, we used to decorate Christmas tree, and now, celebrating our national new Nauryz, we will decorate Joly. It is green. Apai, why are there flowers? Of course, in the spring, the earth is moistened and flowers, snowdrops, begin to come out. Children who are used to expecting Santa Claus for the new year and going around the elegant Christmas tree are surprised that Nauryz also has its own tree. They were very happy when they learned that Joly was also decorated with gifts prepared for them.
Ізденіп жүрген кезде мына Joly деген атрибутты қалпына келтірдім. Бұл
In my research, I created such an attribute to Joly. Previously, it did not exist at all. There was also no Christmas tree. This tradition came to Russia from the West, and the Huns presented it to the West, because there is a tradition among our people to tie colored ribbons on a tree with good wishes. These traditions are very dear to us. It is like a path connecting heaven and earth. In Turkic, it sounds like yol. From here, we can assume the origin of the word evergreen tree.
Танымдық болғанмен, бізге өте жылы, бізге өте жақын. Ол жер мен көкті байланыстырып тұрған жол болып есептелінеді. Оны yol деп атаған бір қатар түркілер. Сол yolдан барып yolға шығып кетіп тұр.
To date, some schools, kindergartens and restaurants have already installed joltereks. Such holiday attributes are very necessary for the Nauryz holiday. That way, it will become a more beloved and memorable holiday for people. During Nauryz, bread and baursak are prepared in every house. All this is exhibited at the festive dastarkhan. The main dish of the holiday is Nauryz koje. Each hostess prepares it in a special way.
Nauryz koje ол негізі ақтан тұрады бірінші.
Nauryz koje is also made from dairy products. It includes 7 ingredients. I will cook it as my mother does. The most important element is the smoked meat left over from the winter. This can be made with kaza or shujik. Remember to add rice, kurt, millet, salt, kefir and milk. Only 7 ingredients. There are a number of legends and scientific discussions on Nauryz. All of them confirm the greatness and symbolism of this day. It is noted that the year begins on this day. According to some sources, the reckoning in ancient Greece and in the Roman Empire was also conducted from this spring day. Even in Russia until 1700, it was spring that was considered the beginning of the year and festive events were held here. According to ethnographers, the roots of the New Year celebrations on January 1st go back to the spring holiday, Nauryz. By December 31st, masks are being prepared. The tradition to use holiday masks passed from Nauryz to the 1st of January. But first of all, Nauryz holiday was celebrated. In most countries, the beginning of New Year was calculated from spring. Later, Christians brought the celebration of the New Year under their canons. Many traditions were linked to the birthday of the Prophet Isa or Jesus Christ. And now the Christian world has made this holiday as theirs. We are estranged from our original traditions. The history of Nauryz is very deep. The opinions of historians vary except for one thing. It is rightfully one of the most ancient holidays on earth. It was celebrated before the appearance of major world religions.
Аңырақай тауындағы таңбалы таста осыдан 5000 жыл, 6000 жылдай болып қалар.
In the Anirakai uplands, there are cave paintings of about 5,000 or 6,000 years ago. A meeting of the mythical figures Anir and Tanir, moving towards each other in an opened embrace, is captured. So the tradition of meetings after winter, or kerisu, has a very ancient origin. But what is it? Kerisu symbolizes the meeting and the entry into harmony of 2 antagonistic principles. Also, the arrival of time to a 0 indicator also means harmony. In this period, there should be no wars and conflict, as if all life should begin from the very beginning. 12 people in costumes of various animals perform a dance. This is our 12 cycle calendar. What other descriptions are needed?
Түрлі 12 айуанның кейпіндегі адамдар билеп жүр. Ол мүшелдік біздің күнтізбе. Одан артық қандай дәлел керек?
These cave paintings are a kind of holiday passport. A separate group of ethnographers said that the history of Nauryz is still ancient.
Нұх пайғамбар заманымен байланыстырады. Топан су деген.
Its story is associated with the time of the prophet Noah and the flood. The last flood was in the 12th millennium BC. By the way, here it is necessary to emphasize the phenomenon of the historical memory of the Kazakh people. In the world, only 4 people associate this event with their territory. Kazakhs are one of them. The descent from the ark to land happened in the first days of the month, a hamal. And after it, according to legend, the tradition of kerisu was introduced. Kazakhs still adhere to this tradition.
Аман қалдық деп бір-бірімен көрісіп, содан қазақ әлі күнге дейін осы мерекені амал мерекесі деп тойлайды.
March 14th is the Amal festival, or meeting day. This is a long tradition preserved in the western regions of Kazakhstan. According to some researchers, the Amal holiday is the ancient equivalent of the modern Nauryz holiday. This is the real beginning of the year. On this day, residents get up early and greet older people and receive their blessing. People make peace after quarrels. The houses are cleaned. Men on this day try to visit 3 houses and meet with loved ones. Many ethnographers and historians propose to celebrate Nauryz holiday after the day of kerisu.
Біз бізге құрт езу үшін сорпа керек. Мен сорпа аламын.
To grind kurd, we need a broth. Taking the broth, we will grind kurd. In the old days, kurd was crushed by the skull of animals, and now they are doing it with a wooden bucket.
Енді қазір бізде ағаш ожаумен еземіз.
In the Kurdisu tradition, families also boiled meat in addition to cooking Nauryz kosher. All the relatives gathered for the festive dastarkhan to celebrate the beginning of the year.
Біріншіден 14-нен тойлау керек біріншіден, бірақ 9 күн бойы демалайық деген сөз емес. Біздің қазақ
Firstly, we need to celebrate from the 14th onwards, but this does not mean that you need to rest 9 days in a row. After all, we understand the holiday as a vacation, and this is not necessary. You need to be able to celebrate the holiday. There should be the meaning of the holiday. It is necessary to attach and disclose the significance of the celebration and carry it out in the form of a festival.
Әлемде карнавал деген жақсы дүние.
There is such a good concept in the world as a carnival. In order to see the Brazilian carnival, millions of people are sent to Rio de Janeiro from around the world. Also, Kazakh Nauryz could be held in the form of a carnival. After all, it is associated with 12 cycles. They have 12 symbolic animals. That would be colorful.
12 жануар бар ғой, жануар. Сонымен байланысты мейрам.
The author of the Nauryz Fest project, Serik Yergali, proposes to fill in 9 days between March 14th and 22nd with 9 different events. For example, a meeting of people at the Amal festival. The next day to be called as Alas, dedicated to the cleansing of the area. The following days should be called Jainau, flowering, Shatanu, joy, Bereke, prosperity, Orkindu, development, Takzim, respect, Ulesim, harmony, and Bastan, tree. On the equinox between March 21st and 22nd, it is proposed to cook the traditional bastangi treat. According to the statements of our ethnographers, the bastangi treat was prepared by girls and young daughters-in-law for their friends at a time when the elders were not at home. In other words, it is a hen party. Exploring, I realized that the word bastangi comes from the merger of the two words bas and tan, which means the beginning of the morning. Bastan. When does it happen? It happens in Nauryz. So the new year begins with a new morning, and it was welcomed awake.
Дауыс сейіндердің Nauryz көжеден.
үлкен кісілерге бел көтерер деген.
For adults, there is a tradition of bel koterer. They invite guests to sit at a table prepared with food and they stay up all night. What did the youth, especially the girls, do? She was preparing her holiday feast, Uiki Ashar. Each brought his own refreshments from home. Then the boys came and gave the girls small presentations of selt et kizir. That means heart trembling. When suddenly someone makes a girl a surprise, her heart trembles. Yes, Kazakhs are subtly expressing their feelings and thoughts.
Қазақ одан артық айту, қазақтан артық айту қиындау.
The last rehearsal is being held in the kindergarten today. The children prepare for performances.
Біздің балабақшамыз бір күнде тойлау емес, әрине.
Our kindergarten is trying to educate children in our national traditions and values. We want to teach them our national traditions and customs, oral creativity, folk games to show them the grace of national costumes. Thus, we are preparing for the new year.
Оларға осы ертегілерімізді айтып, жаңа жылдың дайындығын бастап жатырмыз.
Children, we will now play our national game Oramal Tastao. According to the rules of this game, Amina will throw this scarf away from herself. Before that, you children will have to dance around her. This year, Umay Ana will bring the gift to children for Nauryz. Now, the teachers are preparing her image for the performance. Cultural experts in turn would supplement Kidir Ata with the image of Umay Ana for performing in front of the children.
Айыз ата керек емес.
We don't need Santa Claus and Snow Maiden. Umay Ana is the sacred personification of the earth. In Nauryz, the whole earth is transformed and flourishes. And it is in the role of the mother that one needs to demonstrate the image of Umay Ana in schools and kindergartens.
Арқан тартудың өзін жаңа жерде мынау
Pull the rope, children born in the year of the mouse and children born in the year of the boar, day and night. Even a person with a little imagination can come up with this. In Nauryz, songs of Aitas even sound in a special way. Old song contest. This is not a song debate between a girl and a guy, not between childbirth. It is Aitas with nature itself. Aitas between the laws of nature, between winter and summer. Winter is retreating in Nauryz and summer is approaching. There are many suggestions from ethnographers and historians. It is said that one should not limit oneself only to exhibiting yurts and treating people to Nauryz Koje. This holiday must be celebrated nationwide. We can do that. To do this, adhere to the traditions of Nauryz in the family and meet the people in high spirits.
Наурызда жолдық деген сыйлық болған, жолдық деп аталған.
A gift called Joly was given in Nauryz. Collect various useful items and small items in these bags throughout the year. They can then be donated or sold. This should be commercialized and made profitable. This is a great holiday.
Көрдіңіз бе? Бұның шегі жоқ. Ұлы мереке. Бұл табиғи, астрономиялық және ғылыми дәлелденген нәрсе.
After a long separation, our people meet Nauryz again in 1988. Exactly for 62 years, there was a strict ban on its celebration. In the Soviet Union, this holiday has long been regarded as a relic of Islam. However, all this time it was kept in the people's memory.
студент кезімде мен 22 наурызда Ташкентте болдым.
As a student on March 22nd, I was in Tashkent. Then the Student Conference of Central Asia was held on March 21st until 22nd. Then it was not considered a holiday. However, the Uzbek people have already celebrated it. In the student dormitory in the morning, a youth orchestra plays in the hall. All the people walk on the street. They are treated with cakes. I liked it then. It was in 1982 or 1983.
Халықтың барлығы көшеде біреуі бір тапанын беріп жатыр, біреуі көк шайын беріп жатыр. Наурызға қандай қызығып келдім. Бұл 82 жыл мекен, 83 жыл мекен.
Today, Nauryz will be celebrated in Kyrgyzstan, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, Azerbaijan, Afghanistan, Tatarstan, India, China, and Bashkortostan. In 2010, Nauryz was recognized as an international holiday at the UN General Assembly and received appropriate status. It was said that today it is celebrated by more than 300 million people around the world. In 2009, UNESCO recognized Nauryz as the intangible cultural heritage of mankind. What are you arguing about? Whoever saw the year first begins it. January 1st is the beginning of the year of the mouse, but only on March 22nd, the year of one or another animal completely begins. The year of the boar in the upcoming Nauryz will make way for the start of the year of the mouse.
Nauryz қарсы алды ғой енді, қарсы алды, Самарқанның көктасы жібіді, неше түрлі.
All 9 days are celebrated. The blue stone of Samarkand is molten. The celebration has passed. On the last day, an offer is made to drink a cup of spring water with added sugar. It is said that life should be as sweet as this water.
Тәтті, бұдан да тіршілігіміз тәтті болсын деген ырымдары сол екен.
Nauryz should be celebrated within 9 days. You can celebrate these days even while you are at work. Currently, the question is being raised about the vacation of children for spring break in these 9 days. It is not yet decided. All that is known today is that this year, Kazakhstan residents will rest for 5 days, from March 21st until March 25th. Congratulations on Nauryz. Ulistin uli kunik kutlu bolsun.